welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be kind of a really chill, relaxed type of chit chat get ready with me video, so I'm not gonna be showing all the products and telling you what I'm using. To be honest, your girl hasn't been makeup shopping in a while. Okay, so some of the stuff, well, mostly all of the stuff that I'm using I've already used before, so it's nothing new. If you want to see my foundation routine, I do have that on my channel. It's mostly going to be face today. I'm not doing nothing too crazy on the eyes, but I did want to come on and chat with you guys about a little topic that has been on my spirit. It's been on my heart. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, real chill, real vibey, all that good stuff. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And let's get started, y'all. But I did want to talk about why female friendships don't work. Now, before I get a bunch of backlash on this, they do work. I have female friends. I'm not saying that they don't ever work. No, this is me saying that these are reasons why they may not work. I do believe that you can have friends that work for you. Like, they're not drama-filled friendships. They're really supportive. So in no way am I advocating for the idea that no female friendships work, because that's just not true. I did write some stuff down so I wouldn't get sidetracked, but I'm just going to get to point number one. So if you see me looking at my little notebook, that's where I wrote my ideas down. So first of all, number one, why female friendships don't work or may not work out. Let me say that. Lack of mutual understanding of where both parties are. Example, thinking y'all are on bestie level when they just like eating out with you. Now, this is something I had to get over a long time ago. I'm the type of person, I'm just going to be honest with myself and be transparent with y'all. When I figure out I want to be somebody's friend, they my friend. And that sounds really crazy because I know you can't make people be your friend. But when I like people, I like people. And that's whether they're friends, romantic partners, whatever. Like, when I decide that I want somebody in my life, that's kind of where it goes. And I run with it, okay? But, homegirl, sis, everybody doesn't want to be necessarily on the same level as you. Okay, let's figure that out right now. And that's a big reason why female friendships sometimes don't work, because this may be a person that you just like going to the mall with. This may be a person like they real nice to go to concerts with or events. You know, if you ask them to have a wine and girls night, they'll pull up, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. But it may just stop at that. And I think we have to be okay with that as women. Like, okay, if this is somebody that, you know, we're cool, there's no beef, and you don't have to have beef with somebody just because you don't always mess with them. But like I said, maybe that's the person where you're like, okay, her and I, bro, we do brunch. Like, brunch, that's us. And outside of brunch, if she texts you, cool. If she doesn't, cool. If you call her, cool. If you don't, cool. Like, there's no animosity. There's no being upset. It's mostly just when we together, it's good vibes. And when we not together, we not together. And that sounds so F-boyish. That sounds so mannish. Like, hey, you ask somebody, what are we? And they say, you know what? Like, when we together, we together. And when we not, we not. Take it for face value and take it for what it is. That's a hard pill to swallow when you thought you were on one level with somebody and they humble you real quick and make you figure out that y'all actually were not on that type of level. You've been going around bragging to everybody how this is your bestie on social media and just in people's face in person, and they don't say the same thing about you. That is one of the most hurtful things that you can go through, and I've been through that plenty of times. I'm calling somebody my bestie under pictures, hyping them up, boosting them. And turns out, like, they just think I'm cool. They just like to kiki with me on certain occasions. And you know what? I can't be mad at them for that. Because that's just what it is. But yeah, that's reason number one why a lot of female friendships crash and burn. Because, honey, you thought that that was one of your bridesmaids, and all that was somebody that you go to Chili's with to do the 2 for $20. All right? All right. Okay, number 2, a man. Y'all, I had some trouble really writing that down because I already knew that was going to bring up some controversy, and women don't like to hear that. Nuh-uh, that just means she a hating friend. You know, if you say a man is a reason why friendships don't work out. But let's keep it 100. A man can ruin a female friendship. And I'm not even going to say ruin. Like, it can be a reason why it goes south. At this point, hopefully you know how to communicate effectively and handle certain relationships. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at the end of the day, y'all make the decision whether you want to remain friends or you don't. My point is that can be one of the, for lack of better words, roadblocks in the middle of friendships. Okay, so you know when you have a friend, and you may be the friend. I've been the friend, I've seen the friend, I've had the friend, so I'm not speaking from a place of me not experiencing this and me just being perfect and knowing it all. No, that's not where I'm coming from. But the thing is, you know it when you see it. Like, you had a friend and y'all not together all the time, but relationships between girlfriends do change when a man comes into the picture. So it maybe started out like y'all would go to lunch occasionally when she wasn't at work or you weren't at work or somebody wasn't busy, or however y'all ran y'all's friendship. That may have been the dynamic, okay? And then baby get a man and you don't see her no more. Okay, like, you don't ever see her. I mean, like, ever. Not even see, because we got all this technology now. We got all of this extraness that we have been blessed with. Y'all don't ever FaceTime. Y'all don't ever talk on the phone. Now that we are at this space where we are grown, and I'm talking to my mid-20s, late 20s folks, early 30s, that's going to be something that's going to change the dynamics of a lot of our friendships. Is people getting booed up, people getting married, people experiencing having children. Like, that's just how it goes. That's life. But I don't think you just should throw your friends to the wayside once you get in a relationship. But that's just me. And you have to know what type of person you are, and you have to know what type of friendships that you want to have. If you one of them low maintenance people that you don't care if people married, you don't care if they got 6 kids, as long as you know they breathing, you straight, then cool, like, no beef on your end. But if you're more so a friend that's like, hey, you're somebody that I felt close to, and do your thing, sis, like, get married, be happy, start a family, because you know that's something that a lot of women want to do. That's fine, it's not abnormal. But, like, don't forget your homegirls that was there for you in the cut when you were single. Okay, that's all I'm saying. How soon we forget, you know, the girlfriends that were with us on them single wine nights alone when y'all was ordering Wingstop and watching movies on Netflix. Like, how soon we forget the female friends or the besties that we had that were there when, like, we didn't even know if a dude was gonna work out. You were kind of skeptical of whether or not he was even gonna make the cut. You know, they supported you. They helped you see both sides. They didn't try to be like the jealous, hating friend that's like, yeah, girl, all men aren't blah, blah, blah. Like, you already know if it wasn't that type of situation, hopefully, like, they were supportive of you. But you just throw them to the left when he act right that week. As a friend, just don't forget I exist. That's all I ask. Because like I said, I've been the friend that, like, oh girl, I got a little boo, like, we going on date night, cool, have fun, I will help you pick out your outfit, sis. Where y'all going? I will suggest some places that maybe I've been. Listen, if I got a boo at the time, y'all want a double date, like, I'm the real supportive friend for my friends with a man. But I've also been the friend that's been dumped when somebody's gotten a man. I've experienced that a couple of times, and it's not a good feeling. And if I don't want to feel like that, hopefully I wouldn't make anybody else feel like that. when I got one, that may be a reason why it doesn't work out. Because women, let's just be 100, y'all. Women will fall out with a female best friend over something that seems petty. I'm not trying to dictate how people feel or what they think is big or not. That's not the point. But we'll cut off female friends for small offenses that can be reconciled before we cut off a man that clearly is trifling. And I've been that person, okay? You give a dude chance after chance after chance after chance, and he still do whatever he want to do. But your female friend may be messed up, and she says, hey girl, like, this is not where my heart was at. This is something I've been struggling with, and I took it out on you. Like, I'm sorry. Whatever the case may be, she gotta go. Like, and I believe in order to be successful in relationships, you gotta practice being a good friend. And a lot of the times you get that kind of practice with your girlfriends, and guys get it with their guy friends. Of course, you're not gonna do the same thing with your friends that you would do with somebody you're in a relationship with, whether you're male, female, or whatever. But if you want to be friends with a person that you're dating, you need to know how to be a friend before you get to them. And a lot of people, like I said, will not hold their man to the same kind of standards as they will their female friend. So that can be a big reason why stuff just kind of like crashes and burns and dissolves and goes to hell in a handbasket because your man can do no wrong. He's always right. I say take a step back, reevaluate. And if that's a friend that you've had longer than you've been with that man, like, just see if it's worth salvaging or not. If not, then, I mean, that's your business. You're grown. That's up to you. But if it is, have a little grace for your female friends. Because if it does not work out with that man, who you gonna have crying wine night with, sis? Yourself and Jesus. Because you have abandoned all your female friends. And for the most part, I know some women can be really jealous and petty and messy. It exists. Let's not act like it doesn't. But at the same time, you know your friends. And if you know that's not somebody that's always hating on you and wants to see you fail, also don't chalk it up to that when they come to you and say, hey, I just feel like we haven't been spending, any time together since you got with boo. Love y'all. I think y'all are, so cute, blah, blah, blah. But I miss my friend. Can we schedule a lunch date, a brunch date, or whatever? We shouldn't be taking offense to that because we always complain people don't reach out, and then when they do, we feel some type of way. She's just hating because she ain't got no man. You didn't even have to do all that, okay? It did not have to go to level 10. That was somebody that genuinely probably cares about you and just misses your company. I'm going to do this winged. Well, not even winged. I'm going to just put this line across my eye, put my lashes on, and then I'll come back. Uno momento. Uno momento. All right, y'all. So we back. Just to add to the man sector of this conversation, I also wrote down not being friends with a woman because of a man. A lot of female friendships don't even start the way that they could, in a really healthy, nice place. Because women don't want to, some women don't want to be friends with a woman because they're dating a man that they like. And I think that's really unfortunate. Not to say that I haven't been in that situation, because there have been some guys that I maybe thought about, and then they end up dating somebody that, I like enough to want to be friends with. And I'm like, because then you have to see that person maybe all the time and you're not over it. You really got to deal with your own feelings. But that is just another reason why a lot of female friendships don't work out. Because you let the man kind of cloud your judgment of the woman, and you maybe never even got to know her. Like, sat down with her, had a conversation, and just really got to know her as a woman. Now, this can be different across many situations. Sometimes you don't need to be friends with the woman who is dating or married to a man that you used to like, because that can just cause a whole bunch of mess that's unnecessary. But in some cases, if it never even got off the ground, or, that's not the case, you know your situation, then I don't know, it may be worth exploring to just kind of see what she's about outside of him. Because a lot of the times as women, we get lumped to men. Like, is she dope? If he's not around, like, does she try to speak to you? Is she sweet? Like, then maybe that can still be a friend. Not saying it may be a bestie, but I don't know. I just think that can be something to be explored or given a chance if you maybe just wrote it off because of him. Number 3, pettiness and jealousy. Parentheses, competition. So I can go on and on all day long about how we as women need to, especially black women, we need to stop playing the I'm better than her, she's better than me type of games. But we'll be here all day. I'm just gonna go on the record and say, if you are secure with yourself, then you won't even have room to be jealous of another woman, of another woman's man, of another woman's beauty, of another woman's talents, whatever it may be. I feel like that is a really prominent reason why people or women don't become friends. Because, oh, well, she's prettier than me. Like, no. Look, if we go out, she'll get more attention than me. Or if she's around, like, more people will flock to her because of her personality. And all this other stuff that you hypothetically come up with that's not necessarily true. And it says a lot about how you feel about yourself. You're like, oh, no, I can't be friends with her, like, she too pretty. What? Or, no, I can't be friends with her because she's not as pretty as me. Like, you want to be the only pretty one in the group of your friends. Like, I just think that's just so stupid. And it's a big reason why we can't come together. Look at me on my soapbox. Like, we can't come together as women with that type of mess that goes on. Like, at the end of the day, you can't ever be somebody else. And I'm not going to say I haven't had insecure moments where I'm like, dang, I wish I was pretty like that, or blah, blah, blah like that, or X, Y, and Z, all of the above. I have to learn to be a woman confident in myself because I'm never, ever going to get to transform into Cindy Lou Who over there. You can learn so much from the women you admire. And I don't think we look at it like that. We just see it as a threat because society has taught us that if she gets the man that you want or the job that you want or the friends that you want, like, she's a threat. When actually she can be an asset. Like, that can be somebody that may be the person that lifts you up, that gets you closer to Christ, that, you know, just becomes a good person for you to be associated with. And you would have never known that because you can't get out of your own way. She may be on the other side looking at you like, wow, I wish I could do X, Y, and Z like her. Or I wish, you know, I had hips like her or lashes like hers. Or I wish I had the courage to speak in public like she does. Or have a platform or whatever it may be. Just like you're looking at other people, I don't know why we don't think other people aren't looking at us. And it shouldn't be a competitive type of I gotta tear you down in order to be my best self type of situation. Because that's not true. Anytime you have to tear somebody else down, especially another woman, to be your best self, sis, you're not at your best self. You really need to figure that out and dig deep. Because your insecurities aren't somebody else's burden. Like, that's not their problem. That's something that you got to take up with God. That's something that you got to take up with you. And period. So, I just feel like if you out here with no female friends at all because you're afraid of the competition, then you're missing out. Because it's not really that deep. It's not. I mean, and at the end of the day, we all have something that we wish we could do better, we could change. We're all human. And that sounds so cliche, we're all human. But it's true. I've gotten close to some women and they've told me stuff that I would have never thought they would have told me about how they feel about themselves. Like, man, girl, I wish I could, you know, do X, Y, and Z like you do. And I'm like, huh? Me? I was looking at you like, sis, I wish I could be as athletic as you are, or, you know, whatever. Before we're so quick to prejudge, like, oh, she just got it all, she just on top of the world, she make all the money, she got all the friends, she has all of the clout and all of the X, Y, and Z. Get to know folks. Because some people, yes, they do have all of that and they are not decent people. But some of the most humble people I've met, like, do have all of that. And they just want somebody that's going to like them for them. We got to let it go if we want the type of vulnerability and closeness that comes with actual friendship, okay? Okay. Number 4 is a doozy. Past hurt and past friend insecurity. So past friend hurt and insecurity. So I know this is one of my big ones because we all got trust issues, yes. But no, for real, I do have a hard time trusting people. I'm very friendly by nature. I'm an extrovert first. And I meet people, we can kiki, we can have a good time, we can laugh, we can do all that good stuff. I'm very selective about who I let into my heart, who I let into my mind, who I let into everything about me, because that's such a sacred place. Is you. Like, you are a sacred place. You are a temple. You are magic. You know, you can't let everybody have magic, because then it's not magic no more. I have a really hard time with female friends because I've been hurt by female friends. I've had enough friendship hurt where sometimes I'm like, you know what? No ma'am, no ham. It's a no-go Joe. I don't want to do it. And that stopped me from really getting to explore certain friendships with certain women that I really wanted to do that with. Because I'm like, okay, well, what if they do me like so-and-so? Because now they'll turn around and mess around and, like, do me like she did. And I just don't have time for that, which I don't. But it's not fair to put the hurt that somebody else gave you, in a sense, on somebody else that didn't. And we say that all the time in relationships. Just because one man hurt you, that don't mean the other one will. Like, you gotta let that go. We gotta do the same thing with female friends, okay? And I'm saying this as somebody that's learning how to do that. I'm not saying that as somebody who's arrived at the perfect level of doing that. Because I still have moments where everybody is suspect, okay? Everybody can go. Because if I see something that looks like the past friendship stuff I've been through, I'm like, see, this one I don't have a lot of friends. Which is still true. Like, I'm more of an intimate person anyway. I don't believe you have to have 20 friends to really, you know, be out here in these streets. But at the same time, it's hard having a couple of friends when you've been hurt by other friends. I've had friends that have ignored me in front of other people, like not claiming me type stuff. I've had friends that when we got in a group with other girls, they turned on me. I've had friends that told me I was too emotional, told me I was too this, too that, didn't want to hear me out when I, like, tried to communicate, which is rough because what else are you going to do? Like, if you have a problem with people, I fully believe in trying to communicate and saying something, but you can only go so far if people aren't willing to hear you out. And I've had some female friends, maybe they weren't ready to deal with whatever I was saying, but they wouldn't hear me out. And so then I just stopped messing with them, and we all trying to figure out what happened. I tried to talk to you, sis. You can't make people receive what you're throwing. You can only do your part and, you know, serve it up. And after that, you can't make people eat. I've also done that, and after a while, you just get tired of fighting for people that don't want to fight for you. You get tired of explaining yourself to friends that are adamant about misunderstanding you. So I definitely believe in being selective with your friends, but at the same time, God may be bringing new people into your life that won't do you like that, but you can't see it because you're still holding on to what somebody else did way back when. And part of just being a person is realizing that in every relationship that went wrong or every friendship that went wrong, you equally played a part. You weren't blameless. But a lot of the times all we can see is our perspective. I believe you have the right to feel how you feel. So if you feel like somebody violated your trust, if you feel like somebody didn't, you know, appreciate you, you have a right to feel like that. And so I let myself feel what I feel, and I evaluate what I did in situations, and I evaluate what they did. You really have to unpack that, because the next situations that you try to get in friends-wise will be affected. Like, you'll think you'll be over it. Oh, well, yeah, they messed me over, but I just go get a new group of friends. And that was me. I was friend hopping, y'all. I was the queen of friend hopping. Okay, well, I don't mess with so-and-so no more. I'll just start hanging out with her because she didn't do that. And then we'd have a problem. So when you never address what the actual problem is, whether it's one of your insecurities, a couple of your insecurities, some stuff from your childhood, when you don't address that stuff, it trickles whether you want to run from it or what. Like, no matter how far you try to run, it's gonna pop up again. And no matter what friendship I got into, that's what it was. You can't put your mess on other people who didn't do anything to you. And you may be missing out on a lot of good girlfriends because you feel like they gonna do the same stuff that you've already been through. But I feel like if you have that communication up front, like you do in relationships, we scared to have the talk like, hey girl, I really, you know, enjoy hanging out with you. But what do you expect, you know, out of friendships? Like, do you expect to talk to people often? Do you feel a way about this? Like, bring up all them talking points. Okay, how do you feel like if a friend gets a boyfriend? Like, what interaction do you think is healthy? That way, when them situations come up, y'all already had a talk. And whether you decide to stick around is up to you at that point, but at least you had the conversation. I used to go into friendships assuming everybody knew what I knew and everybody felt what I felt, which was a lie, okay? It was completely a lie, because we all come from different backgrounds. We have different ways that we were raised and just all this stuff that makes us different people. So you can't expect somebody to think like you, to process like you, to experience like you. And that's what I was doing. So I'm like, well, if they don't do this like me, they not a real friend. Or if they don't, you know, love exactly the way I do, they not a real friend. And then I would call that friend hurt. I'm not in the business of changing people, especially friends, because then you won't know if it's genuine. And I don't like disingenuine friendships at all. You just really have to evaluate everybody on an individual basis and not on a what I've been through already basis, because people will always come up short. And if you only evaluate people based off of what you've been through, you're not got enough friends. And honestly, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to move on. If you keep going through the same type of stuff with friends, eventually you got to look at you. How am I contributing to this situation? How am I making this better or worse? Like, how am I constantly attracting the same type of friendships, the same type of relationships? Like, what's tea, sis? And really self-evaluate. Get you a journal. Do some self-work. If you can recognize the patterns that are getting you to where you at, then you can knock them off when you see them starting to happen. Okay, I did this with my last friend and we didn't end up friends no more. So let me figure out how to do something different. And I promise a lot of your relationships will change this. They will. Okay, finally, I want to go into my last reason I wrote down. Say different values that aren't respected / addressed. As you get older, you start finding friends that fit the type of lifestyle you want to live, okay? So if you're not really a person that goes out all the time, a lot of your friends, even subconsciously, you like you may not do it on purpose, but those end up being the friends that don't really go out either, right? So on the flip side, you may also have some friends that are the complete opposite of you, whereas you like to be in the house all the time and they always want to go out. Like, they think you boring because you don't ever want to go out, and you love them to death, but that's where y'all differ. if you don't kind of find a middle ground with those type of situations, that's how you end up not being friends. Because you think that they're pressuring you, or you think that they're trying to change you. And like I said, people don't like when people try to change them. It's just something I've figured out we as people don't appreciate. Like I said, I didn't want to go out, sis. Stop stop pushing it. It's not your birthday. It's not an occasion. Like, I don't feel like it. Blah, blah, blah. And I think it's okay to have differences. Those are the type of friends you need as you get older. You need friends that will show you different experiences, that will introduce you to different things, that will not let you kind of sit in the same spot and experience the same stuff. I love that I have a lot of different friends that are in different fields, that have different interests than me, that have different political opinions, that have different relationship outlooks. All that kind of stuff just makes you a more well-rounded person if you have people in your circle that aren't the same as you. Because then you can't grow. If everybody that you know is like you, then, like I said, you're not going to go very far because that's all you know. You're sticking in your comfort zone. And great stuff doesn't come from comfort zones. As irritating as that may sound and as cliche as that is, it's true. Like, I've learned so much over the years from going to college and meeting different people who didn't live like I did, who didn't experience parenthood, or, you know, how they dealt with their parents like I did. Like, that really gives you the outlook to take on the world. But as women, a lot of the times, if we have friends that don't like the brunch as much as we do, and it sounds so petty, but it's true. If we have friends that don't like to maybe brunch as much as we do, or, you know, they want to go out all the time and we're more of a homebody, we just cut them off as friends. Because if we can't enjoy the same activities, what you here for? But my point is, people have different values and we're all individuals. And I feel like a lot of the times dudes, if they don't think the same, they cool. They like, I like such and such, you like such and such. But, I mean, as long as we can, you know, kick it with the bros, we don't care. I don't know, I'm not a guy, y'all. But I don't know, I just don't see them being that upset that they're not the same. And that's been an issue I've had with some of my friendships, where it's like, I've been the person that's been like, oh, well, she don't think like I do, or she don't like this like I do, so we can't connect. No, you can still connect on different stuff. Because I feel like if I'm friends with somebody, we got something we connect on. And I think that's the thing. Find some common ground. They vegan, you not. Maybe don't try to always go eat together. Or find a place that accommodates both, if that's the case. But just because y'all are different doesn't mean that you can't find an area where you can connect. And I think it's so simple to say, but that's what really be stopping a lot of female friendships out here. Like, maybe you dress a little bit more conservative. You're more so on the, you know, I'm not too flashy. I just like my neutrals, my nudes. And she like to wear color everywhere. She neon, pink, green, orange when she go out. Like, okay. That shouldn't be something that deters you from having a withstanding friendship. A long-lasting friendship is what I'm trying to say. If somebody can introduce me to something that I don't really know much about, or that, you know, I can maybe over time find a little intriguing, at least to connect with them, then why not? Like, why the heck not? A lot of times we just want female friends to say we got female friends, so we don't think something's wrong with us because we don't have female friends. Or we just want them to do stuff because we're tired of sitting alone. But if you're genuinely trying to connect with somebody, and like I said, just not be around them for superficial reasons, for somebody to take your pics for the gram, for somebody to, you know, just hype you up and agree with you all the time. I don't want yes women as my friends. I want women that are gonna make me, you know, really look at myself, get on my face, say a prayer, and say, nah, Trees, like, you wrong. And those aren't always easy conversations and situations to be in and to have, but it's so necessary for you as a person. And I feel like God gives you the friends that you need, not necessarily the friends you thought you wanted. Just like he gives you everything else in life that maybe you need, but you didn't necessarily initially want because it freaked you out. So my best friend is completely the opposite of me. Well, no, I'm not going to say completely. We have a lot of similarities, but we're very different. But we've had so many like riveting conversations because of that, and I appreciate that. So I'm just saying, give it a chance. If you meet a sister or another young lady that is different from you and you don't think it maybe will work on site, give it a chance. That may end up being one of the best people you know. So yeah, just take precaution when thinking about your female friends. If you're true to who you are and you aren't easily influenced, and that is genuinely a good person, I think it could work. I think the friendship could work. As long as you have healthy boundaries, communication, respect, and a little bit of understanding. Period. All right, y'all, so that is it for this chit chat. Get ready with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and go ahead and hit the subscribe button, girl. Become a part of the Trice tribe. There's no harm, no foul, and it's free. Okay? Okay. Leave me some comments down below in the description box. Y'all can't do that. Leave me some comments down below in the comment section. Start a conversation. Let me know kind of what you guys think about female friendships. Do they work? Have they worked out for you? Did you think I was accurate with some of the points that I listed? I didn't have too much time to go fully in depth, but I hope it at least sparked a little conversation and it sparked kind of a thought process going in you to kind of evaluate some of your own female friendships, right? And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.